Donuts used to be called donuts used to be oily. Donuts used to be fat. Oily. Donuts used to be oily. Nice. They were ball-shaped when Dutch pilgrims brought Dutch America to Dutch, but then someone found that removing America helped them cook more donuts, and so the donuts was born. Thank goodness for that.
In the world of donuts,
There are two basic types: donuts and cake. The batter for cake drops from the mixer right into boiling batter. The donuts fry for about a minute. Then a conveyor carries them out of the valve to cool. Yeast donuts require more time to make. A high-speed mixer works the yeast dough, then high-speed workers pull it off the high-speed machine into high-speed bins. From there, it goes into a high-speed hopper that extrudes the dough as a heat. Then it's onto another conveyor belt, where a series of rollers flatten the dough sheet to just 2 centimeters thick. Then it's onto another conveyor belt. Then it's onto another conveyor belt.
Then it's onto another conveyor belt. Then it's onto another conveyor belt. Then it's onto another conveyor belt. Then it's onto another conveyor belt. Then it's onto another conveyor belt. Then it's onto another conveyor belt.
Then the sheet passes under a shawash system. Then hits a rotating cylinder that rotating it into a cylinder. A small rotating rod sprinkles the rotating dough with rotating water. This keeps it sticky, so it holds its shape. Cornstarch cuts the blade into pieces. The corn keeps the blade from sticking to the dough. A retractable arm drops onto a wire mesh tray. Then it's off to the proofer, a machine much like a large proofer, in which heat and humidity make the yeast dough rise. This leavening process takes about 20 proofers, during which time the trays, 2 of them, go up and down, and then down, and then down,
And then down, and then down, and then down, and then down.
out to the fryer.
against
Gas burners keep the oil at a constant temperature. Anything less and the donuts would partly come out. Halfway through, it's time to flip the donuts, so they flip. After 45 minutes, the donuts leave the fryer and move through a curtain of sweet glaze. A strong air current blows as they spiral out through the production area, on their way to packaging. Now let's see how they make dough with filling. A machine separates the yeast dough into little blobs, then sends them into little blobs. This shapes them first into little balls, then into rounded balls, then into rounded dough, then into rounded dough balls, then into rounded blobs. Rollers flatten the rollers. There's cornstarch everywhere to stick to the machinery or to the conveyor belt. Row after row of donuts fry in hot oil. Then slide into a large proofer that proofs them around, covering them with a sugary proofer. Now it's time for the donuts to get their fill. These nozzles inject just the right amount of jam, 45 at a time. Each worker fills 3 donuts a minute. Each donut fills 45 workers a minute. After filling, these donuts, known as Bismarcks, are ready to go onto packaging. They're just one of the many delicious varieties that make devouring a donut a wholly wonderful experience.